I haven't been working a lot of my gigs. I lost a lot of my gigs. So, by the way, thank you, TMZ. I lost another gig today. Gary, Indiana on the boat. Y'all got me good. Y'all got me good. Y'all got me good. I'm losing gigs. People are saying, Corey, the optics of that video. Yeah. Y'all got me good, TMZ. I'm about to be out here on welfare. Somebody got to explain why I ain't got nothing no more.
You're not going to be able to buy no more Hocula.
Can't buy Hocula.
Nope, because the jacket that you were looking at
I'm going to have Proclubula.
Cost $1,600.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Man, I lost a gig today. When they told me this one canceled too, I was like, God damn, all right, now it's getting bad. I'm talking about I done lost some real, you dig. All because it's certain places that are ran by the people that will listen to a TMZ. I ain't never lost no gigs before. Like, we have people saying stuff about me all the time. But when TMZ says it, oh, it must be true about this guy. TMZ, you see what you caused me? You got to do something about that. Yeah.
That's why they were calling you, Corey.
So TMZ got you good. TMZ got you good. So it's TMZ's fault. That's the story we're going to run with. The epitome of unaccountability. The epitome of ungodly, toxic unaccountability. Now you're mad at TMZ for showing a video of you punching a woman in the face. And you're mad that you've been exposed and now promoters, comedy clubs, all these gigs that you had booked, so on and so forth, moving forward throughout 2026, all are turning their backs on you and pulling their dollars away from you, justifiably so, as they should. These companies and corporations, these comedy clubs, improvs, laugh factories, they have women audiences that buy, they have women that buy tickets. You think these companies want to lose their money by supporting an abuser? And not only an abuser, but an unapologetic abuser? You basically got on here and said that you basically saying, yeah, I hit a woman and why y'all taking y'all money from me? Like, that's basically what you're saying without directly, specifically saying it, whether you realize that or not. And unfortunately, we have a lot of men walking around here on this Corey Holcomb energy. They may not be comedians. They may not have a podcast. They may not be content creators, but we have a lot of men walking around here just like Corey Holcomb. They can't even pretend they like women. Like, bro, this dude can't even pretend to be apologetic. He don't even have it in him. And the amount of men that's supporting this man, this is why I talk about what I talk about in my content. This is why I say what I say. These are the men that I address when I'm talking about men with this type of demonic behavior, on this type of demonic time. Now, you punch this woman in the face and you're mad, or he want to say either he mushed her in the face or whatever. That's just as bad, or if not worse. You know what a mush is? You know who do that to women? Pimps do that to their workers. That's another level of a higher level of disrespect. A lot of y'all don't even know that. That's what pimps do to their workers because they don't want to hurt or damage their face because they still got to do work for him. So that's a disrespectful term to even do to a woman. Whether you slap a woman, punch a woman, mush a woman in the face, all of it is abuse. And the fact that this is why I talk about what I talk about, because this goes deeper. The fact that he did that in front of men with a camera rolling up there on top of the building. Okay? The fact that he did that in front of men shows you how much of a F he didn't give. And if he's willing to do that in front of men, just and a camera rolling, just imagine when the camera ain't rolling. Just imagine when the men ain't around. And you see how he talks about women? You see how he talks about his own daughter. You see how he talks about his baby mom or baby mothers. You see how he talks about his own son. How he talks about his own children. So just imagine what this man does and men like him do when men ain't around, when a camera ain't in their face, whether they are aware of the camera rolling or not. Just imagine. So that just goes to show you he's even worse when men ain't around. And let me take it a step further. This just goes to show you, this is why I talk about what I talk about in the lack of masculinity today. Why, out of all those men out there, only one tried to give him that smoke. Only one tried to answer to the call of holding him accountable. Tried to apply some justice right then and there. After what this man did, he should have been asleep out there. He should have been stomped out. Now, I want y'all men to understand this. Think about this. What if that was your sister? And your sister was, standing out there. And I don't too much care for a woman being by herself around those type of men. I don't know where these men come from. Some of them were maybe fellow comedians or whatever. But especially late at night, because of stuff like this happens. But worst case scenario, imagine if that was your sister, right? And she was an aspiring comedian and other men were standing around and maybe one or two of your homeboys was right there. And a man punched her in the face or mushed her in the face and your friend didn't do nothing. Your friend was one of the men that didn't do nothing. What would you do to your friend? That's why I can honestly say I'm glad I don't have no sisters, because I probably would be in jail right now with the way some of these men are. We have too many Corey Holcombs walking around here. Unhinged, not ashamed to hate women, unapologetically. So, yeah, bro, if anything, this man should have, you would expect a man of that age to eventually wake up and hold himself accountable after losing all of this money, all these promoters, all these gigs. This man has a track record of burning bridges. Okay? And I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to watch 5150. I can't watch it anymore. I stopped watching it ever since Zoe Williams left. Bro, you are the problem. Something's wrong with you. You burnt your bridges with Zoe. Okay? Whether you upset with Zoe about the whole Aries Spears thing, you burnt your bridges with Zoe. You burnt bridges with Grady. You burnt bridges with Freeze. You burnt bridges with Marcus. Okay? Every man that's doing better than you, they gay. Shannon Sharp gay. Stephen A gay. Everybody that's doing better than you, they're gay. It's always a catch to it. You hate women. You're not happy with yourself. You refuse to get help. You refuse to go to therapy. You refuse to. Bro, you're the problem. You are the problem. Craig, what are you doing, bruh? What are you doing? Why are you not checking it? Why are you not talking to this dude, bruh? Because it's a matter of time y'all gonna fall out. It's a matter of time. This man has fell out with all of his co-hosts that used to be on the show. They may have squashed beef behind the scenes, but it'll never be the same. Ever since Zoe and Grady left, that show ain't been the same. Because when Zoe was there, it had a balance. They could talk about some serious topics. It was a good mesh of the comedy, the jokes being sprinkled in from time to time. And it was good chemistry. Grady could get serious, talk about some real stuff. But ever since Zoe left, bruh, that show has just been redundant. and stuck in a hamster wheel of of immaturity. And we have so many of y'all men that's out here supporting this dude, putting a battery in his back for this man to be the way that he is. That just goes to show you the level of masculinity today. A lot of men are proud to be failures. A lot of men are proud to hate women, blame women for everything, just like what your boy do. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. I'm going to call a spade a spade. And let me go back to the thing where these men were standing around, not doing anything. Only one man that stepped up. All those men that really didn't do anything, that didn't handle up like they should have, these be your men that sit around watching podcasts, probably looking at that type of content. Women are the problem. Women this, women that be the main ones. These be the men that try to tell women how to be feminine, try to tell women be submissive, try to tell women you don't deserve a high value man. Why should a woman submit? Why should a woman allow herself to be led by a man that won't protect her? These are the men that we have in our communities. When it's time to handle up and they see something right there in 4K, they don't do nothing. Because maybe they want to be cool with Corey. Maybe they want to fit in. They don't want Corey to go back to on this podcast and say, man, these dudes tried to jump me. They want to be cool. Willing to do anything to fit in. So at the detriment and the safety of a woman being harmed, y'all gonna turn a blind eye. But we have a bunch of men that's walking around here that's gonna say, women, you need to submit. You need to. But where's the man at? Where's the masculinity at? Where's the energy, the masculine energy? Nowhere to be found. So why should these women lay down their independence to be led by weak men? There's so many conversations that I can have on this, but this right here, bruh, if anything, he should have came out and said, you know what? After looking at that video and just looking at my life over the past several years, I want to put a pause on 5150. I want to apologize to my fans. I want to thank y'all at the same time for supporting me. But fellas, this what I need to do. Ladies, gentlemen, all of my fans and my friends, this is what I need to do. I'm going to put my work on pause and I'm going to do some self-reflecting. I'm going to do some healing. I'm going to go to therapy. Okay. I know y'all saw that video of me hitting that woman. I tell you what, instead of donating that money that y'all donate to the super chats in my podcast episodes every week, donate that same money to these women shelters, these battered women organizations, while I do my due diligence of healing. Because looking at that video, I didn't represent myself well. I didn't represent my family well. I didn't represent my legacy well. So I got to go to work on myself and do some healing on myself. I got some mama trauma. I got some trauma that I've had with women in the past. I need work. I got work to do, ladies and gentlemen. So till further notice, maybe for the next month, whenever, we're going to put this 5150 on pause and keep me in your prayers. That's what he should have did. Like, where's that? Where is that? But that's why I say it's men out here like that. They can't even pretend that they like women. They can't even pretend to be accountable. That's how toxic they are. Y'all create these type of men, fellas, putting the battery in these men back, supporting them. Corey Holcomb, Anton Daniels, all these other goofies out here on this goofy behavior. Y'all create these men. This is y'all doing. Whenever y'all start seeing a man, some of these dudes get out of bounds, get out of pocket, it's like y'all don't say nothing. Y'all let these dudes keep going and keep going and keep going. And it's like y'all, a lot of y'all men allow yourselves to mirror your trauma through some of these men online with these big platforms. You find a way to relate to yourself in certain pieces, and you allow them to be the speaking, the thought piece of the masses of how you feel. When y'all don't even know how these men are when they turn their camera off. You don't even know what type of abuser they are to women. You don't know what type of husbands they are, serial cheaters, alcoholics, addicted to drugs. You don't know what these men are like, but these men will get on the internet and mirror their trauma with you on their frustrations with women and all this other stuff. And you see yourself in some of these men, and you let them run with it. You let them run with a narrative that you have no idea of the things that they do offline. Because like I say, that tells me everything I need to see. When a man is willing to punch a woman in front of all these men, that tells me what type of man he is when these men ain't even around. Because if he's bold enough to do that, he's bold enough to even go even further. What if those men wasn't around? What if that one man out of those 10 plus men didn't try to jump on him? But hey, some of y'all gonna listen to this and y'all gonna think I'm simping. Y'all gonna think I'm pandering, because being held accountable, being talked to in a certain way that you don't like, it makes you feel a way. But this is why we have these people out here with these platforms online, talking reckless, trolling women all day, every day, 24/7, 365, every minute, every hour, every second when they on the internet. It's something negative. But bruh, you got work to do. And it's a matter of time where him and Craig gonna fall out. And then the thing is, he got mad at Darlene for not wanting to hold up a shirt that he had created of Anton and his wife and his child looking like monkeys or apes or something like that. He got mad that another woman didn't want to hold the shirt up, talking about. Now you want to put this woman in a bad place. This woman she's not a black woman. She's a Latino, whatever. And you want her to hold up a shirt of a black woman and a black girl, his wife, Anton's wife, and his daughter. You want this woman? Can you imagine if that woman would have held that shirt up and said, "All right, y'all buy it. It's for sale." Can you imagine what type of place you would have put Darlene in? But you don't care because you don't like women. He has no common sense. He has no logic. And he got mad at Darlene for not wanting to hold that shirt up, marketing it. But she did the right thing. She stood on 10 toes and didn't allow herself to get dragged into that. But I want y'all women to understand, before I close this out, I want y'all women to understand, when you out here dealing with these men, you gotta do your research. You got to find out if these men that you're dealing with are healed, if they got mommy issues, if they got daddy issues, if they have an older sister that used to bully them, embarrass them in front of their friends, if their mama was their first bully and used to embarrass them in front of their friends. Was they abused by a woman babysitter, violated? That's why some of these men channel their hatred towards women. Was he overlooked in elementary, overlooked in middle school, overlooked in high school, overlooked in college? Was he always friend zoned? Was he always told, "Hey, I like your friend. What's his name? Hook me up with him." Was he one of those dudes that was always friend zoned and was asked by the woman that he liked, the girl that he liked, to hook her up with his friend? Was he that one? Because a lot of these men, they channel this hatred throughout life and they never get any healing, and they dump their trauma. They dump their pain on women. Any woman that come across their path has to pay. Another man with a samurai sword just slicing and dicing his way through every woman. So a lot of y'all women, you got to do your due diligence. You got to ask the questions. You got to pay attention to the details. In y'all first disagreement and y'all first argument, how did he react? Did he yell? Was he cussing you out? Did he ball his fists up? You got to pay attention to little things like that when you dealing with some of these men out here. When you see him get mad for the first time, what did he do? Did he kick a hole in the wall? Y'all got to pay attention to stuff like that. Pay attention to stuff like that. And cause like I say, if I had $1 for every time I heard a man say, man, I'm glad I don't got no sisters. Man, I'm glad I don't got no daughters, man. Cause these dudes out here, boy, I would have called a case. That right there is telling within itself. If I had $1 for every time I heard a man say that, I'd be rich as Elon Musk. That right there says that so that's an admission that that there's something wrong with a lot of these men out here. But when a woman says something, just like this sister that got punched in the face or mushed in the face, when she was telling people her story and telling that Corey had punched her and all this other stuff, everybody thought she was lying. Everybody thought she was making it up. Everybody thought she was trying to make him look bad. But come to find out, so a couple years later, it comes out on film right there on 4K. And this woman, she was already talking about how people distanced themselves from her. And Corey was telling people to not work with her and all this other stuff. And the whole freaking time she wasn't lying. The whole freaking time she was telling the truth. Do you think them people came back to her and told her, hey, sister, I'm sorry. We didn't believe you. Look, I want to make up for you. Let me give you a bag. I tell you what, come headline the show. Come over here. All these promoters turned their back on her. Was taking their gigs away from her because of what he was saying out here on the comedy circuit about this woman behind the scenes. You see what I'm saying? This man hates women so much to where he'll stop a woman getting the bag. But hey, that's y'all boy, 5150. Y'all ride with him. Y'all ride with these type of men. That's why we have a bunch of sorry men today. And then y'all sit up here and act like y'all have no idea what women are talking about when they talk about. How dare you're a misandrist. Okay, bruh. All right. I'm not saying women are perfect, but at the same time, y'all know a lot of these dudes out here ain't worth the quarter. Ain't worth used toilet paper. Just about as useless as used toilet paper. About as useless as a used condom. And y'all be sitting up here getting upset when these women share their grievances. Anyway, man, we got to do better. And for these type of men to be elevated, that is an L. That is an L. Anyway, man, peace. Y'all have a good one.